Hi guys, it's Bo Knows Cooking, and I want to do an introduction video just to kind of introduce myself, of give you why I do the videos that I do, the food reviews that I do, and kind of my experience in the restaurant business, and just kind of see where I'm coming from. Um, I was born in San Francisco, and my mom was there visiting. We didn't live there, but we were there visiting. My grandpa, he owned a restaurant in San Francisco on Mission Boulevard. And my mom went into labor in the restaurant, and they had to rush me to the hospital, rush her to the hospital, us. And that's where I was born, in San Francisco. And so I tell people I literally was born in a restaurant. I wasn't, but I just say that because I was, she went into labor in a restaurant. So my dad has owned restaurants my whole life. At one time, he owned four. He owned two in Palo Alto and two in Northern California. So I was raised in restaurants. We've always, my whole life, we've had restaurants as a kid growing up. And I started working for my dad probably when I was 9 or 10. I wanted a new pair of shoes, and they told me, if you want to buy some new shoes, you want us to buy you shoes, you're going to go there and wash dishes. So I started washing dishes. I was small. The apron drug the ground, and it was a little challenging at 10 years old, but I always washed dishes till I was about 15. And when I was turned 16, I was 16 because my dad had just passed away when I was 16 years old. And a lady named Barbara Weaver, who worked for my parents for years in one of our locations in Oroville, California, she wanted to teach me how to cook. And I said, yeah, I'll learn how to cook. So she taught me how. She was the fastest cook I've ever worked with. She was super fast. And so I learned how to cook, and I did that for years, working for my parents, working for different places, different restaurants. And sometimes you get tired of your career and you want to do something else. So I laid carpet for a little while, and I thought, this is good. But I always went back to restaurants because that's what I knew. So at one point, I hooked up with a gentleman, a friend of mine named Todd Barnes, and he owned a restaurant. He managed restaurants. He was a district manager for Jerry's. Back then, they had Jerry's restaurants. And he was a district manager, and we became buddies. And he asked me if I'd like to go to Phoenix or Holbrook, Arizona, to open a restaurant with him. I'm like, sure. So we went to Holbrook, and that was the first restaurant that we opened together. And when you open a restaurant, you go to the city and you stay there for a month, 30 days, and you do everything that you need to do to get the restaurant open. There's a lot to it. There's a long checkoff list of stuff you need to do to open a restaurant. And so we stayed there for a month, and we worked every day for a month. I think we took 2 days off in that month just to go do laundry and take a breather. But you hire 50 employees. By the end of the month, you're getting rid of 25 because they don't want to work for you and you don't want them to work for you. So we did that quite a few times. And I helped him open quite a few restaurants. And at one point, he decided he wanted to open his own restaurant. So I helped him with that. And we just started opening restaurants. And I worked for him for about 25 years. And he actually owned 3 restaurants in Oroville, California, 3 of the largest restaurants. And I think I managed each one of them for a number of years and just worked for him for years. He taught me just about mostly everything I knew. Barbara taught me how to cook. Todd taught me mostly everything about managing. I started managing restaurants when I was like 18, 19 years old, managing people, restaurants and people. So to this point, I've opened 17 restaurants, and 4 which were mine. My grandpa owned 19 restaurants. My dad owned 4. He owned 4 at one time. We had 2 in Palo Alto, but we lived in Northern California, so we traveled to Palo Alto. My grandpa would oversee those down there, and we'd go down there a lot just to check on the restaurants and see grandma and grandpa, and then back home. At this point in my career, I have my 4th restaurant and hopefully my last. It's in Troy, Idaho. We moved to Northern California. A lot of our family moved to Northern Idaho. A lot of my family moved to Northern Idaho. I have an oldest daughter who has 9 children, and together we have me and my wife have 15 grandchildren. So we were chefs at a sorority in Pullman, Washington, and we lived in Deary. We live in Deary. And we were driving an hour to work, hour home, hour to work, hour home. And we worked 9, 10 hour days sometimes. So we were working a lot. And every day I drove by this little building in Troy, and there was a guy there that used the building to roll sushi. And almost every day I was like, that needs to be a cafe. That needs to be a coffee shop. The town is small. It's a very tiny town, maybe 800 population. There is one other place there called the filling station, and they do drive-through coffees and pastries and sandwiches and things like that. But I knew the town needed a little restaurant, full service, big menu, sit down, servers wait on you, hot biscuits and gravy, chicken fried steaks, full menu. I got a big menu there. And I met with him a couple times. He wasn't willing to do anything, but finally he called me. He said, I found a place in Pullman to sell my sushi and roll my sushi. I'm going to be moving. So I met with the landlords and we got the lease for that building. And we've been there for almost going on 3 years. And the community absolutely loves the restaurant. They really adore it. And so I just started doing this recently just because I enjoy it. It's not, I'm not looking to do this for a career, but I enjoy doing it. And I'm not always perfect. I'm not always right on, and I don't know everything. I'm not a know-it-all, but I like to eat, and I know restaurant business and how it should operate. I know how, the timing that's involved, and when you walk into an establishment, when you should be greeted, when you should be seated, when your food should come, how the server should treat you. I know the process pretty well. And so I'm doing this a lot for fun, just being picky, and I enjoy it. And we have some really good places to eat around here, some really exceptionally good places, and we don't have some exceptionally good places. To me, customer service is a really big thing. I think it's hard to find places that give you really exceptional good customer service. And to me, it's very easy to do good customer service. If you train your employees right, they can give exceptional good customer service. It's just not being about yourself. It's being about your guests. Your guests are there for a reason. Your guests are there to satisfy their stomachs in a restaurant. And so that's really what I'm doing this all about. That's my introduction. I've done it all my life and I enjoy it. So I appreciate you being part of this channel. Bono's Cooking. I'm a cook. I love to cook. I love to be in the kitchen. I can have a really hard day at work and stressed out all day, be really, really backed up, and go home. And what am I making for dinner? Because I love to cook. So I like to be in the kitchen no matter what. Some days are harder than others. Some days I really enjoy it. People say I'm hard to work for, probably because I'm pushy. But I could just have a not care attitude like a lot of people do and just not care that people are taken care of. But I care about my guests. And I tell people it's my love language is to cook for people. I look out and I see a whole restaurant full of people eating my food that I just cooked. And I enjoy that. It's my love language to people. It's how I show you that I love you. I cook for you. And so I try to do the best job I can. I'm a perfectionist. And I work really hard at doing things right and doing things good. I want people to enjoy the atmosphere. I want them to enjoy when they come into the restaurant to eat. And so I just look for that stuff. So that's who I am. I appreciate this. We're going to have fun doing this, and I enjoy it. And I appreciate all you that make comments of where I should go, because I got a lot of places to try now. I got a whole list. My daughter's been making me a list like this from people recommending me to go to places to eat. So we're going to start picking away at that list and start going out and trying different places. And it's a lot of fun. I'm glad you're on this journey with me to have this fun. Thank you.